Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. You join me here at DMB Collection for two very special McLarens, both actually the exact same model of McLaren but two different specs completely, and I want to talk through each of them in detail, show you a little bit around the car on the outside and on the inside, and talk more why I personally believe this is the best McLaren that money can buy. Not a 765 LT, not a Senna, not a 720S, none of that. I strongly believe that the McLaren 600 LT, which is right here behind me, is the McLaren that you should be buying in 2026. And, well, any year for that matter. Let's take a look. Here we have it then, the McLaren 600 LTs in question. We first have the McLaren orange, and then we have a white metallic. I don't know the exact name of the white metallic one, but I'll try and find out. This is McLaren orange. You also have papaya spark in some of these cars, which is a kind of more metallic, and it's got a flake through the paint. This one doesn't have it, it's just the standard McLaren orange. Still looks good though. In terms of spec then, this has the standard wheels, and then it has the, is it a rhodium? Is that the colour? Is that the actual name? I should know this. I did have a McLaren 600 LT and it did have the same rhodium kind of grey, but yeah, basically it doesn't have carbon packs, whereas the white one does, which I'll show you in just a sec. But yeah, McLaren 600 LT, it does actually, I've said that, it has this carbon pack. I can't remember if it's carbon pack 2, but it has it nonetheless, which is a bit of a strange and random option. There's no other carbon as far, oh wait, hang on a minute, it's got the mirrors in carbon as well. So yeah, I do think that is carbon pack 2, but please correct me if I'm wrong. This is, as I mentioned, the coupe, not the Spider. I had the Spider about a year ago, which would be my preferred option in the 600 LT. Moving a bit further on then, let's see if we can open the car up in just a sec and not set the alarm off. Again, this is all the kind of rhodium colour, kind of grey colour, essentially not carbon. To compare that to here, can we see it? No, I'll come back to that one in just a sec, hold tight. But yeah, let's have a look inside. The cars are open, but I'm scared to set the alarm off, so I'll just kind of peek the camera. And this actually, questionably, has the comfort seats. I don't know how I feel about that, but it does have the all-important Bowers and Wilkins sound system. And then just look at that. Honestly, what a special place to be. And yeah, just I absolutely love these cars so much. Quite fitting, this must be the McLaren corner because you've got the McLaren 765 LT in the background there. Anyway, moving on to the white LT, which is my preferred choice from the two of them. This has all the carbon packs, well, almost all the carbon packs. It doesn't have the carbon roof, which is a very rare option anyway, but it does have the carbon round the front, carbon at the side also. We then have carbon door mirrors, the carbon side blades, and then I can actually show you now, which I couldn't show you in a sec ago, the carbon rear, which honestly, like, the lighting in here is not great because it's kind of against the wall, but when these things are outside and you can see the weave on the carbon, honestly they are like nothing else. And the size of that diffuser as well, completely carbon, all the way down and under, all the way up. This whole thing here is completely carbon. I mean, most of the car's carbon, but like exposed carbon, shall we say. I do believe you can get the spoiler in carbon as well, or exposed carbon. Again, these are carbon standard, but I mean exposed, and then you've got the part here which is to flame proof, because these things do shoot flames, which I'll actually overlay a video of my car shooting flames.
That was a shot, man.
The reason for that is the exhausts are so short, the engine is right there, and the exhaust is right there. So yeah, you get flames from standard, by the way. My car did have the MSO exhaust on it, but these do shoot flames from standard. This, again, I'll try and show you. I don't think you can make it out in the camera, but it does have a metallic white paint and the all-important upgraded wheels, similar to what mine have. They are lightweight wheels because this is the track-focused car, of course. Speaking of track-focused, this has the Senna seats, which I'm about to sit in just a sec to give you an honest review on these. It doesn't have, interestingly though, the Bowers & Wilkins. I guess this car's maybe been used more for track. I don't know, can't confirm. Cannot confirm if this was used for track. The reason I question that is because it has the telemetry pack, so it has this little small camera on the front. It also has, I noticed this little sticker thing here. I don't know if that's been used for some sort of like mount for timing or, I don't know, individual cameras or something, but yeah, this has the kind of track pack, if you like. So this is the ultimate track weapon, in my opinion. Let me try jump inside, hopefully not set off the alarm, and give you a little bit of a closer look on the interior of this 600 LT. Okay, so coming inside, the famous McLaren doors. This takes me back to, well, only about last year actually, but these Senna seats, I didn't have Senna seats, I had the P1 seats, but honestly these aren't as bad as I thought. Let me just close down the famous McLaren doors. Again, that feels so strange, I haven't done that in about a year, but yeah, this is a familiar place for me to sit. Almost familiar because I did have the Spider variant, whereas this has an actual roof, which meant that that little part there behind me was like more of a wall, and then there was a window that you could also put down, which was, I'll try again, find some overlay video to show you why that was so important. Yeah, when the roof is up in the Spider and you could put that window down, and the noise from the exhaust, because it is literally just, the exhaust is essentially right behind your ear because it's that top mounted exit. It was like, yeah, like nothing else, like gunshots is probably the best way I could explain it. But yeah, this car inside then, full Alcantara, which I absolutely love. I love an Alcantara interior on cars, and the LT being the track version of the, essentially the 570S, which is what the 600 LT is based on. It's a track-facing car, or track-based car, which means that Alcantara is used because it's a lighter weight material. But yeah, I think all cars should have Alcantara. It just feels so much more special. And yeah, the mix in here between carbon and Alcantara is, yeah, pretty special. So let's take a look. I'll flip the camera around and show you more of this Senna seat and more of the interior of this car. Here it is then, the Senna seat in question. I think this one has the extra padding. I'll need to be corrected in the comments if that's wrong. And they also do feel quite wide. I know you can get the P1 seats in different sizes. This feels, I mean, it's hard to try and convey that on camera, but this feels quite spacious, this seat. Whereas some of the P1 seats that you get in the LTs and actually 570Ss can be a smaller version, quite tight. The telemetry pack that I mentioned, that's also that camera right there, so it helps track your lap times. Just as I'm showing you that angle, check that out, that's literally the exhausts back there. So when you are shooting flames and you look in that rear view mirror rather, you do see flames popping out from there. It's quite a special thing to see. As I said, this doesn't have the Bowers & Wilkins. Not a huge deal, it's not a deal breaker for me because you can get an upgraded system from Audison, probably better than the Bowers & Wilkins system that you get standard from McLaren. Carbon wise, it carries on. These seats, first of all, are completely carbon, one piece carbon with the kind of, I say they're spongy, they're not that spongy, but soft enough, comfy enough. Honestly, these are comfier than the Lambo seats. I had the Lambo comfort seats, and these are, which is crazy to think because these are literally track focused race carbon bucket seats, but these are 100%, I can confirm from an owner, these are comfier than the Lamborghini comfort seats. But yeah, Pretty standard stuff that you're used to in the McLarens. They've always got this kind of floating screen here, and then nothing down in this section with a little 600 LT made in Surrey, I believe it is, or made in England it says down there. And then yeah, this carbon kind of central area as well with the Alcantara and the kind of racing point centre on your wheel. I do miss that view out of the mirror. It just feels so special in here, honestly. Yeah, Alcantara with the orange stitch is very, very good. But honestly though, the Senna seats are a lot better than I thought. This is the first time not the first time I've sat in Senna seats. I actually sat in a green carbon, a very well-known green carbon Senna, which is owned by a YouTuber. You may know who I'm talking about. But I sat in that Senna when it was in at my friend's garage getting some detailing work done. That had the carbon Senna seats, obviously, because it was a Senna, and I don't really remember what they felt like to sit in, but this being a familiar place for me to sit in, I spent many, many miles and time in a 600 LT, so this feels more familiar. The seat is honestly not as bad as I thought. I would not shy away from getting a 600 LT with Senna seats. My preferred is probably the P1 buckets, but yeah, I wouldn't knock the Senna seats, basically. So if you are in the market and you're looking at an LT but you're not sure on what seats to get, please don't get the comfort seats. I just don't think that a track car should have comfort seats, and you don't even need them anyway. People might be buying it because it's like, oh, it's a track car, it's going to be bumpy, it's going to be bouncy, I need to be more comfortable to drive it daily or whatever. You don't, trust me. I drove all around Europe and done about 1,500 miles in the space of 5 to 6 days, and it was P1 seats, and honestly, I would not have picked a better seat to do that in. So yeah, take it from me, owner of one of these cars that have experienced the seats. I've experienced comfort seats in the Lambo, I've experienced bucket seats in the McLaren, and I'd pick the bucket seats every single time. But yeah, I think the choice between P1 seats and Senna seats, unless you really want to track it and that's your main goal, then of course Senna seats make more sense. They've got a bit more support, rigidity, whatever. But yeah, I think the sweet spot is the P1 seats, but don't shy away from buying it if it's got these seats, because yeah, they are pretty comfortable overall. It would be rude not to put the door up and show you the car with the door up. That's what it's known for, isn't it? Well, one of the things that it's known for. It's a bit of a party piece. Anywhere you go in a McLaren, as soon as you park up, throw those doors up, people know that you mean business, or they think you're a poser and they absolutely hate you. It's very split down the middle. For me, as a car guy, when you pull up in a McLaren, the doors go up. It's a pretty special feeling. Should have mentioned there, these cars come with soft close as well, which I think is wild. So watch this. So when you drop the car, door. Did you see that? Unsure if it came across on camera, but yeah, a McLaren race car, essentially, with a soft closed door that you would expect on a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. I've always thought it was quite funny. There you go. What a car. What a couple of cars. Very different, very, very different, but what a couple of cars to see here at DMB Collection. And just like that then, the two cars have now been fully walked around. I've showed you the inside, I've shown you the outside. I've given you a bit of an owner's perspective and things that I would look for and things that I would buy and what I'd maybe avoid in these cars. But yeah, tell me what you think. Do you agree with, first of all, what I said at the start of the video, that this is the best McLaren that you can buy on the market, forgetting all the big fancy stuff, the LT, well, that is an LT, of course, but the 765 LT, which gets an incredible write-up online, or a 720, or even a Senna. I just believe that the 600 LT price point, the package deal, is just the car to have. So yeah, do you agree? If you don't, let's have a chat in the comments and tell me what McLaren is better than one of these LTs. Also, I'd be interested to know, would you pick the orange or would you pick the white? For me, it's the white all day, preferably in a Spider, but if I had to choose these two exact cars here at DMB, then I'd be going for the white one all day long. Price point, I believe both cars are just over 120 grand. So again, incredible value for money, and they're both under 20,000 miles as well. So honestly, don't think you can beat. These are two of the prime examples on the market on Auto Trader. There's not a lot for sale. I think there's about 25 or 29, somewhere around that number. So there's not many on the market. It's quite a rare car, but I do think these are two of the best examples. So yeah, if you are looking to buy them, by the time this video comes out, they might be sold, but if they're not, of course, check out DMB Collection, give one of the guys here a call and tell them I sent you, and I'll try and get some commission for selling these cars. But yeah, that's all for me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.